All right. Hello, everyone. Playing Hunter. This character's cool. Is it gonna break again? We're good. Oh, come on. I wanted to try out the spear throw. I didn't switch hands fast enough. I picked up a spear instead of the centipede at first. I think it worked out. Yeah, that's good. If you're good at hops, you can go pretty quickly in this section. This guy, not quite moving out of the way, but close enough, I guess. I guess it's fine if you drop the spear in that previous room, because you just want to pick up this guy. Messing that up. Nice. Actually, like the fastest way to do this room. Like that. I'm still not really sure if I want to try to use that consistently. Oh, come on. That brings the cursor back in. Why can't it just use the in-game cursor? Oh, that's bad. I was just trying to grab the spear and it took me a few times. There we go. Please. That could have been done a lot better. At least I have a spear for this part. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Dark one's here. What was it? Did something weird happen? That's like just a waste of stamina to do that. I think that's the most movement I'm comfortable with while you're starving. Ow. This is actually the correct start music. Is it? I think so. For Sky Islands, right? That was all bad. Forgot to do the thing that I was supposed to do, which is to not do a fast roll. Fast rolls are generally faster, but they don't get you as much distance with a like roll pounce. Please. Please. Do I have roll? We're gonna do this. I have wall punches turned off. I guess the next time I shelter, I'll go and change that. But yeah, because I was running Saint earlier. Saint doesn't like wall pounces. I guess actually AI hops are really important for Hunter. Like there's so many jumps like this. Best option is an AI hop. Shouldn't really be messing this up. Ooh, that's clean. Usually you do a roll pass there. In the normal run, you would use that to get a vulture, and then the vulture would be stunned by the echo, and you could just kill them for free and get the mask and food. There you go. There we go. That's a bit better. Now the mask doesn't really matter at all for a practice one where there's not any creatures at all. But the point is that I would be carrying a mask anyway, so that's one less item that I can hold. So that's staying consistent. I can't like take advantage of a lot of throw boosts. Just because I'm practicing with no need for the vulture mask. Need some spears right now. I don't see any spears at all. That's kind of concerning. I think there's one that's supposed to spawn guaranteed. I might have just like not even thought about picking it up. Yeah, that's unfortunate. He used to need 2 spears here, but with wall pounce like that. Nope. Like. Hello? Oh yeah, I've turned off wall pounce as well. You do wall pounce there normally. Also, I think I'm in the wrong language. You know, maybe I'll just like exit out and change both of those real quick. Because I think you shelter right when you enter Pebbles, right? Ah. And then here I would actually do another wall pounce too, but yeah. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the jump scare. Get out of here. Where's the setting to like disable notifications while you're streaming? Actually, because I used to disable notifications under some other condition, I forget, but then I ended up just never getting notifications at all. And I would like miss a bunch of live streams. So I don't know what the ideal way to do that is, but now they show up in the middle of streams. They don't go away automatically. That's fun. Also, I need a spear. There we go. Thank you for that. Just jump, you know? There we go. Hello, welcome to the stream. I suck at the game. Although, you know, this is the very first attempt. You know, this is just a warm up, okay? This is just a warm up run. I'm just gonna exit out now before I forget to change anything. Are you allowed to do this in a speedrun? To just say like, I'm gonna go change some settings, like during a shelter? Like, I like wall pounces for this part of the run, but, you know, for the later parts, you know, not a fan, so I'm gonna disable it. It's allowed? That's funny. I don't think anyone really makes use of that. And it is actually a time loss because the shelter will open up slower if you exit out. Yeah. It's funny that I ask what's allowed or what isn't in a speedrun, because honestly I should be one of the people to like determine the rules in the first place, as someone who's actually like actively running the game. No, I'm not asking for that kind of position. Hello, hello, welcome. I don't know if you can tell me this, but has anyone submitted a Gourmand story percent run that is in the process of being verified? Because I know that Cyrillith and Isolbruns have both run the category somewhat recently, but there's still no runs on the leaderboard. Nothing? What the heck? It's lonely out there. But surely you would submit a run if it's literally the only run that you've done of the category. Any category with only 2 other submissions total. Like, you're literally guaranteed to get at least second place, right? The current second place run is like 3 hours long, right? I guess that's not a huge deal. I didn't do what I was supposed to do there. A lot of my current PBs have tons of mistakes. Thames could save a few minutes. Rivulets has a ton of mistakes all over the place. But it was such a big improvement anyway that I had to submit it, you know? And there's not a huge motivation to try to improve that kind of time, right? I guess it's pretty safe to fall all the way down in that room. Oops. Fall all the way down to like the bottom hole in that room. It's just like the ones near the screen transitions, those are the tricky ones. Oh, come on. Just a little bit too late. And for some reason, the pole at the bottom of the room can't save you. Or I guess maybe I got unlucky, I don't know. Oh wait, I have to do everything again. I was muted, sorry. I also forgot to get the echo. So I had to go back anyway. But forgetting to get that echo is like the biggest problem I have right now with this run. Like every single practice run, I just miss it completely. And I get to depths and I don't have enough karma. There we go. I don't think you're supposed to eat more food than you need to from the popcorn. I don't really know the like food routes, but I think it's very flexible considering that you know, any opportunity you get, you should probably just eat food. You know, if a creature's dead, just eat it. If there's a creature that's easy to kill, just kill it. Yeah, less jellyfish later, because jellyfish are like the slowest way to get food. But at a point where you do need the food the most. I guess they're jetfish too, right? They're kind of weird though. I think World Record eats like a pink lizard and then like a drop wig. Also, hello, welcome to the stream. Interesting, Winter and Stardew. You know, I've been playing Stardew too. I actually haven't really looked at the game since the recent update, and it changed a lot more than I thought it did. I'm very surprised by all the new stuff I'm seeing. So no spoilers for the new update, I guess. I'm still figuring that stuff out. But as passaging? Would the passage be useful at all? I don't think so, right? I mean, obviously, if it did, someone would have found it already. This is a pretty popular category. You're not even playing on the update. Just heard the music? Oh, yeah. So grab that hole right there. And don't be a clown. Imagine being a console player, though. Can't imagine. Did I try the funny pounce? I should being a Switch player. Even worse. I wonder if you could do something like this. Actually, hold up. Let me test this. If you're like here, that actually does almost work, but that sounds way too risky. Do the funny? What's the funny? You could probably roll up that slope. I guess yeah. Your last shelter would be in outskirts, so you know, passage would overshoot where you want to go. Is that funny? It's like I have brain damage now. We all know that they already have brain damage. It's just part of being a slug cat. Maybe it's part of speedrunning. No. It's time loss to break her skull. Really? I'm surprised that I landed there and that I took enough. Or I fell far enough to stun myself. Okay, at some point I just randomly remembered how to do air hops. Not slides though. Still can't slide consistently. Have I? I want to check something. No, not yet. No longer need the mask. Damn, that was clean. Best way to beat Hunter for the first time with all objectives? Be good. I'm not the best person to ask for advice. It really depends on what you're struggling with. Oh, that stupid den. Well, knowing exactly what path to take helps. Which like shelters, which like pass through the rooms. This is exactly what I'm doing right now, actually. Basically speedrunning, getting all the objectives. The route goes to Pebbles first, and then to Moon, and then to the depths. There's a really nice kind of path around the map you can take that gets to all those locations pretty quickly. So you go straight up the like, industrial chimney. Oops, hold up. Industrial chimney wall up to Pebbles, and then from there you go down to back to industrial, where you can then go to shaded, and And then you go, I mean, basically just the path that I'm going on now. To go to Moon, and then for Moon you can go down through this like bottom part of Shoreline. That then takes you to Subterranean. You can just go straight down from there to the depths. If you want like an efficient route. There are some difficult parts of the run still. Like Subterranean is pretty rough. Sky Islands, like at the beginning of the run, of course, you're going through like Farm Ray Sky Islands. Actually, you don't go to Industrial. I forgot that. This is Hunter. If you get a neuron from Pebbles to eat, then you can glow and it'll make shaded a lot easier. I would really recommend that you stay out of garbage waste because it kind of sucks. Right, that's a good point. So once you like shelter in Subterranean, it doesn't matter how much you die, because you will always you can get to the depths without needing any or needing to get through any karma gates. Even if you only have like one cycle remaining, just like run straight for the depths, and eventually like you only need one attempt that makes it all the way there. Go back to the exterior. Going down from like the top of Pebbles, going down the wall, then Chimney, then Industrial, then Shaded, that's just a faster route than going like all the way through Underhang and the Leg and like Memory Crypts. And yeah, they're pretty dangerous areas too. A lot of like Cyan Lizards. I mean, maybe it's only faster if you like know the speedrun routes, which, you know, you can like fall through the rooms really quickly if you just know the layout. But you know, I just think that moving down is much easier in the game. Gravity's on your side. 1 karma gates, if that's what you're struggling with. If you want to cheese a little bit, you could try karma caching. Karma caching works for Hunter, right? I'm pretty sure. It's like an exploit that you can use to get infinite karma without using up any cycles or food. So if you die too much and you can't get through a gate, you can just karma cache. So if you're like really struggling, you can use it as like a practice run. And like once you get more familiar with like the route as a whole, you can try to do a run with no karma caching at all. Oops, I'm throwing. Industrial Chimney seems scary. Everything is scary as Hunter. If you get a Vulture Mask, actually, honestly, I would probably recommend that you try to get a Vulture Mask, and the rest of the run will be like significantly easier. You could either try to just fight one normally, or you could find like an explosive spear to try to get the kill really easily. Which you can get if you like trade with scavengers. You probably want high scavenger rep anyway. Or you could hang out by an echo before you like visit them, and the echo will disable the vultures. You can like kill them for free to get the mask. That's what the speedrun does actually. If you're worried about lizards, Vulture Mask just nullifies that completely. There's other creatures I have to worry about, but if you have a good scavenger rep, then it's like only really like vultures and like spiders and like dropwigs, you know, significantly less dangerous creatures to worry about across the whole run. I still don't know how to do sleds. Technically, the Pearl is not one of the main objectives. It's not necessary at all. If you want scavenger rep over anything else, you could go down from the start of the run. From like farm raids, you could go straight down, give your pearl and maybe another pearl to the scavenger toll. That increases your rep. Then get down to outskirts and then bring all those pearls to the outskirts toll right after you exit farm raids. And you'll start with like a decent amount of scavenger rep, probably like higher than neutral at that point. And then from there, I guess you can go up through like industrial chimney, so on, to get to pebbles. Well, that was a jump. But if you don't have a vulture mask, those regions might be difficult. Don't want to deal with outskirts, that's fair. But I probably wouldn't recommend that you go there if you're not gonna like continue through it. Speaking of outskirts. Should've done the big pounce there. Amateur. Does have 2 red lizards and like 20 drop wigs and a bunch of centipedes. It has everything really. They thought it'd be funny to take the easiest area and make it really difficult for the hard character. And then they thought it'd be funny for Downpour to keep that going with all the new characters. Isn't that wonderful? Like, actually, Hunter wasn't the hard mode. They're just like the default character now. Every character will be based on them now. And actually, for some of them, we'll make it even harder than Hunter spawns. How much time we got? Let's see, actually. This might actually be a long enough cycle to make it all the way to the end. Which I know is possible. I didn't finish eating it. Did I? I didn't. I think I'm gonna eat a jetfish in like the tunnels later. Hey, dude. Also, this room is significantly faster if you get the jetfish at the beginning. Just swim through very quickly. You won't be able to eat any jellyfish though. So it depends on where you want to get food. Rivulet outskirts? I don't even remember what spawns there other than like the usual, you know? There's karma lizards, right? And there's like aquatic spawns, sort of, like salamanders. Has anyone gone to Outskirts River? I've been there a decent amount. But it was quite a while ago. Ow. Thank you, dude. But you're rivulet, so it doesn't really matter at all, right? Maybe I should play Rivulet again. Maybe I should do Pilgrimage as Riv. That was literally the, like one of the first speedruns I've ever done. And I haven't like improved it at all since. I was pretty discouraged though because there was a time where I tried to improve that run by finding a new routes, because the route that I used was basically just one that I made up really quickly. And I was like, surely there's another route that's better. And I spent like a whole week like theory crafting on different routes for Pilgrimage Riv. And they were all slower. So I just wasted my time and never actually improved the time in the end. feel like Jetfish might actually be the best food option in this area. Because there are 4 pips, and you only need to kill like 2 of them. And there's like so many in this area. This is definitely enough time to make it all the way to the end. That's not a really viable strategy because you're going to be slowed down by creatures, and then, you know, you're going to get a different random cycle length. Nice. I'll just keep going. Normally you take a shelter here. The thing is that, you know, if you know that you have enough time to make it to the end, why bother with eating food, right? You're just losing time for no reason. And maybe the time that you spend eating food is gonna, like, take so long that you can't even make it to the end anymore. I think the only time you should reset Hunter is if you're like down like 0 or like 1 karma. And you get through like a really high level karma gate. Such that you would waste a lot of cycles just farming karma to get back. Or you could also potentially die and have to keep doing it more. It's probably my least favorite part about Hunter. That like trap of getting of dying a bunch and having to like farm karma to get to the next cycle or to the next shelter or region. Let me just use every single word. Please keep moving. Thank you. This is a very nice spear, or it's what's the spear spot. How about a shoreline sponsor? Not really that bad, I don't think. The biggest problem is probably king vultures. If you're in the open like water areas, a king vulture can kind of just show up and kill you. But otherwise, I don't think the rest of the spawns are really that much worse. There's leviathans too, I guess. If you're using a jetfish to swim around, you're gonna be fine. Ow, brain damage. I'm gonna try something here. Yeah. You can do that as Gourmand, and it's like much better. It's pretty funny. I don't want to do the depths. 30 plus depth as Spearmaster. For the entire Spearmaster campaign, that sounds really good actually. Like 30 deaths is not that bad. I'm sure you'll be fine with Hunter. I personally think that Hunter is a stronger character than Spearmaster. But I guess if you're carrying like the Neuron with you, well actually it's not really a big deal because you can put it in your stomach. Unlike Spearmaster. And then you can just hold 3 items normally, unless you want to mask 2, but having a mask and 2 spears, or a mask, rock, and a spear, like they're all really great combinations of items. I would have continued this run if I didn't mess up at on the wall. Hunter is still difficult. I like to think of it as like Spearmaster and Artificer are probably have the highest like concentrated difficulty. You know, a lot of dangerous creatures. Spearmaster's pretty long too, and you have to carry the pearl, right? But Hunter is maybe a little bit less difficult. But because of the time limits, you need to always be making progress. You can't die too much, you know? So as an overall campaign, Hunter is probably the most difficult, because there's a chance that you might not even be able to complete it at all, right? If you die too much, if you don't move fast enough, you might just run out of cycles before you make it to the end. Whereas for Spearmaster, you might die 1,000 times, but eventually you'll make it to the end, right? You know, thinking about it, actually, that's actually part of why roguelikes are kind of fascinating. For any other game with respawns, it doesn't matter how difficult it is. Eventually, you'll be able to make it through, just by getting lucky at least once, right? No matter how many attempts it takes, eventually, you just need one attempt that can get to the next checkpoint, right? And then you've made permanent progress. New tech. If you did a throw boost through there, it'd actually be really good. Whatever I just did there. But like a roguelike, it doesn't matter. You need to be good enough to make it all the way to the end with no checkpoints. You can't rely on any like assistance like that. Nice. Is that the farm raise echo? I guess there's no harm in getting it if you're already in farm raise, just like jump down. If you're gonna skip any echoes, I would probably say skip the subterranean echo. Or the farm raise echo, or the shade echo. Those are probably the most optional ones. Chimney is really easy to get. The one at the top of the wall is really easy to get. Sky Islands one is really easy to get if you want to go there, of course. I picked up a bat fly. Get out of here. And goodbye rock. And of course, if you get pebbles, that kind of counts as an echo too, right? Yeah, just walk a little bit further there. Why was that so bad? Oh, it's a centipede. I just picked that up without even knowing what it was. It's a centipede. They sometimes show up. They would be a good source of food if they spawn consistently and if that room wasn't chaos. Yeah. That's a good strategy to get echoes early, so you don't need to worry about karma too much. It actually doesn't matter how much you die on the wall at all, because as long as you can get to the top and get to the echo, that will refill all of your karma, and it will always be there, no matter what your karma level is. Or pebbles. Does pebbles refill your karma? Probably, right? So you have 2 chances up there to completely refill your karma, even if you die 1,000 times, as long as you can shelter inside of the region. The guy just blocked my path. Don't do that. Am I running out of stamina there? I don't know if you can do that 5 pounds. Ooh, which is bad. I feel like if I do like one more action, I'll pass out. That's good movement. I'll probably do that from now on. I don't think you can. Because once you enter 5 Pebbles region, the gate will not open again in that cycle. You have to shelter again. I mean, going down the wall is not too bad. It's much easier than going up the wall. There are a few choke points, like the White Lizard room is still pretty rough. But for the most part, you can just kind of fall down and get most of the lizards. Or if you get a Vulture Mask, you don't need to worry about any of that at all. That's probably my biggest recommendation. A Vulture Mask makes everything so much easier. And you only need to sacrifice holding one item. Not a huge deal. That's actually a very precise slide pounce right there. Oh, goodbye, Overseer. Sorry about that. Yes. It's funny, all of the story percent speedruns, except for Artificer and I guess Hunter too, right? Hunter and Monk, but they're not. I'm only counting the Downpour ones really. So out of the Downpour story percent speedruns, only Artificer doesn't use grapple movement. For Gourmand, you craft a grapple worm to get through Outer Expanse. For Artificer, of course, you can't use one. Rivetous uses the grapple worm in Underhang. Your master uses the grapple worm for like the second half of the run, and then Sage just is a grapple worm. So I kind of wonder if that's why not many people speedrun the Downpour categories. You know, Artificer is the most popular one. Maybe there's something going on there. So this is what I'm talking about right here. The Echo is active. You can use the Vulture Grub to spawn in a Vulture. I have creatures disabled, so there's no Vultures, but that's where you normally get a Vulture in this run. Yeah, Artificer is really short, but also if you try to use a Grapple Worm, it just disables your double jump, I think. So it's like a kind of a downgrade in terms of movement. Everywhere where you would want to use a grapple worm, the double jump works just fine. Nice explosive spear. I have no idea what my first Hunter run was like. I think it might have been... I might have used a mod to increase the number of cycles because I didn't want to deal with the time limit. I definitely did that a lot for Hunter. I don't know if I ever did a playthrough initially with like the time limit. Yep, once you enter Subterranean, your karma level doesn't really matter anymore. As long as you are at the max cap. But I wouldn't be too worried about the time limits, as long as you don't die too much, to the point where you need to farm karma a lot. I think you could probably take every shelter that you see along the routes and still have enough time left. Because remember that going to Pebbles will also add 5 cycles to the timer. So you have 25 cycles total. You just make it to Subterranean, right? While getting all of the echoes. I guess you're also going for Moon, right? You said you wanted to do all the objectives. So that means visiting Moon. But Shoreline is pretty close to Subterranean too, so that's only like 1 or 2 cycles away from the end once you get to Moon. It is a scary campaign. I've done a speedrun of pretty much every single character except for Hunter. They're the last character that I don't have any speedruns of at all. That's why I'm practicing this right now. It's a bit unfortunate, the time limits. It's nice that there's the remix option that lets you just disable it completely. But you know, the intended experience, of course, is the time limit. But it's unfortunate because Hunter is actually a really fun character. Because they're quite strong in terms of like having the extra spear. And also their stats are just a bit higher than Survivor. But they're not completely overpowered like the other characters. But also the other characters, the other downpour characters, they usually have some sort of big weakness to make up for how strong they are. While as Hunter doesn't really have a big weakness, I guess you could say the time limit is the weakness, you know. But normally they don't really have a weakness other than like, the spawns just being higher. But they're quite strong to make up for it without being completely overpowered. Yeah, I think that Hunter is one of the best for expeditions too. I haven't done one of those in a while. Normally you would have eaten the vulture from earlier. I think you could beat it first try. Considering that you've already beaten the other downpour characters that are quite difficult too. There's a chance. Definitely. I would say that if you want to have like a good chance for a successful run, it would probably help to like reset at the beginning until you can get the first like 2 echoes without any deaths at all. So just like hang out in farm raids for a few cycles until you have enough karma to activate the one at the bottom of the region, the echo, or the farm raids echo. Get that echo, then go to Sky Islands to get that echo. And then that's, if you can get past all of that without any deaths and being efficient with your cycle usages, then you can continue with the rest of the run with much more confidence. Although that is assuming that you can make it all the way down farmeries in a single cycle. That might be a bit difficult to like avoid the creatures. But if you can do that in one cycle, you can get the echo, and then you'll be sent all the way back to the top of farmeries, where you can then just go straight to Sky Islands. I don't know, it sounds like you're pretty prepared. I'd say just try it and just see how it goes. If you continue to struggle after doing it like several attempts, I mean, I don't know at that point. It's pretty far. I mean, as a speedrunner, that's like very easy to do. to cross any region in a single cycle. That is very easy. I guess you'd have to know like a good route beforehand. But it's farmers. Well, you don't need to deal with the deer at all. Deer are totally optional when moving down. I agree with you. I don't like the deer either. Hello, welcome to the stream. This is just a practice run so far. I just need to remember to take the shelter on the wall. I always forget to do that. And I miss one of the echoes. That could have been done better. Ow. I still always do that. Okay, take this shelter. There we go. Oh, you're looking at my runs for the routes. That's nice. That's why I do the runs in the first place. It kind of bothers me to see world record runs that don't take the optimal routes. That's usually my motivation to try to get the world record. To say like, hey, here's like a better way to do this speed run. Oops, I actually don't need to do that at all. We're just going up here. Which ones are non-optimal? What do you mean by that? Which what's? Oh, the speedruns? For a long time. Well, okay, hold up. Let me think about this for a bit, actually. Okay, so Artificer, for example, is a horrible, horrible speedrun. It is only 20 minutes long, but it is 20 minutes of constant horrible creatures. The world record for a long time was like 25 minutes, around there. I was thinking, okay, this run is okay, but it can be improved. Because it is such a difficult speedrun and there's a lot of creatures that can kill you easily. Usually a few deaths here and there are kind of expected for Artificer. Especially for the last few rooms of the run. Because there's a ton of scavengers there in Metro. So usually you take a shelter and then you try to run through the scavenger toll and defeat the boss. And if you die a few times, it's fine because you'll respawn right back there at the shelter. I was thinking you could save a lot of time just by not dying at all. And so I spent like a month just doing attempts at the speedrun to do a deathless run, and it ended up being like faster than 20 minutes. Like a pretty big improvement over world record. So that's not really a route difference. Actually, there were a few small route differences. Like I did go for a Vulture Mask in the beginning of the run, and it makes the rest of the like, oops, hold on. It makes like Industrial and Chimney and even Metro like a lot easier, because you don't need to worry about creatures at all, or the lizards at least. Saint Story is another example. At the beginning of the run, you can either use Bubbleweed to swim through this like underwater section to get through farmeries, or you can use a Yeek. The Yeek can jump over the worm grass, right? And I always use the Yeek, but another runner used the Bubbleweed, and they ended up having world record for a while. And I was thinking, no, this the Yeek strategy is faster, so I need to get a world record that uses the better strat at the beginning of the run. But also, they actually had a better strat for Rubicon. You can either go to the right or left, and both strategies are like viable. In my opinion, well, okay, I think the way it works is that the left side of Rubicon is much more difficult, but much faster. And then right side of Rubicon is just the opposite. It's easier, but it's slower. And I always went to the right side, because I like safety. But eventually it was like, okay, you need to go right or left sides for a competitive run. And it's pretty bad. There's like a room with 2 red lizards in it. There's a room filled with like Mirror Spirits and Mirror Vultures. Well, there's already Mirror Vultures, but even more so. And then there's a room filled with orange lizards that you have to get through. Yeah, for a long time people took a lot of like safety strats, and I was like, nah, I'm just going all in. No safety strats, deathless run. There is a category for Artificer to like ascend. Go to the depths and get the normal ending. You need to like bring a karma or a scavenger with you into the depths. And your karma and the scavenger's karma need to add up to 10. You can get past the guardians. I've heard that there's actually a lot of progress on that speedrun recently. No. Is subterranean on cycle 8? Yeah, yeah. So that's how many cycles that you have to shelter in case you die too much. And remember that if you run out of karma, like on the wall, the echo there is like a free refill. And if you just barely have enough karma to activate an echo, but you can still get it, then that refills your karma as well, you know? So you might not need to spend too many shelter or cycles to increase your karma if you can get an echo instead. But of course, you still need to have enough karma for the echo to show up at all. I think to enter reset hell, maybe too willing. Maybe it's not worth it. Unfortunately, yes, for Spearmaster especially. That's actually the biggest example. I don't know why I didn't mention that at first. The world record for Spearmaster is not just a speed run, it's also a challenge run to only use a single spear through the entire run. As Spearmaster, where you need to use spears to eat food, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So their little challenge routes not only makes everything more difficult, but it's also a few minutes slower because you need to like go out of your way to get food somehow without using popcorn plants. And that's the world record. By a few minutes. And I was thinking, oh, I can just not do the challenge and I'll get an easy time save. And I've spent so long trying to beat that run and I've yet to succeed. And I kind of feel like I'm never going to. It is an exceedingly difficult run. Probably the most difficult speedrun on all the leaderboards. Or at least the most difficult story percent run. I'm pretty confident about that. I'm sure that if you really should try to optimize like a 100% run, that takes a few hours. And try to do that kind of run deathless, that's probably more difficult. But Spearmatch just has a combination of difficult creatures, having to hold the pearls so you can't use items, and a grapple worm at the same time. So you're completely defenseless for like a big chunk of the run. And just like the first few regions are just like very difficult. There's so many creature spawns, vultures, scavengers, they kind of don't like you. And you're a Spearmaster, so you're kind of weak. At least for Artificer, you're a very powerful character. The way the one spear challenge works is that... Oh, also I don't even need the mask here. I don't know why I'm bringing it with me. You're supposed to drop it at the beginning of Shaded. But, you only need the spear to stab a single popcorn plant in, like, outskirts. Because then you can karma cache to get some max karma. And then... I think that's enough food to get you to Moon, where she refills your food. Or maybe a passage, too. Because passages refill your food, right? So I think you use a passage at some point. I'm not 100% familiar with the route. But passages refill your food, Moon refills your food, and that's all like the food that you need for the entire route. So you use the one spear to get the popcorn plant at the beginning, and you can never use one again. Which is really bad, because that means that you can't use spears for throw boosts, extended slides, a bunch of like zero gravity sections, throw boosts help a lot, you can't use spears then. And you're Spearmaster, right? You can create spears whenever you want. So there's a lot of tech where you can create spears while moving around. And then use the spears for like better movement. Especially in the zero gravity sections. But of course, if you can't use spears, you can't do any of that. And of course, it makes combat more difficult. You can't kill creatures. Spears are actually significantly better for parrying lizards. So if a lizard grabs you, you can still stab it with a spear to like escape. You can do the same thing with rocks, but they are much more likely to miss. So it's actually kind of crazy that they managed to get such a good speedrun with that challenge. It only took them like a month or more of attempts, like every day for a few hours. Is karma caching considered cheating? It's allowed in speedruns. It's not allowed for hunter score runs. Because in that case you can I don't actually know what it is. Oh, you can get like some passages really easy without spending any cycles. So it's not allowed in score runs. I'm pretty sure it's allowed pretty much everywhere else. If you just want to beat Hunter, that depends on what you want to do. If you consider it cheating or not. Hello, hello, welcome to the stream. I need to check the length of the cycle. This is a really long cycle. I might be able to make it to the end. Hello, Deadfish. Thank you. Sometimes throwing the Jetfish away pushes you down really quickly. Can I do this? Oh, now I definitely can. If you delay one of your throw boosts, you can slide into the pipe really quickly, like that. There we go. I'm actually not going to eat any food at all. I'm going to take that risk. I had so much time in this cycle, I'm pretty sure I can make it all the way to the end. This is what I was talking about earlier with like the routing. Like normally you'd eat these jellyfish, but they're quite slow. Because you can only eat them like one at a time, and sometimes you can get... It's hard to eat food underwater. If you're moving around too much, you can't eat anything. And, you know, if the water just pushes around you, that'll prevent it. Or if the Jetfish decides to show up and like push you around, that also stops you from eating. And normally, you know, if you want to get a lot of food as Hunter, you would just eat a creature and get like 5 or more pips just instantly. Or very quickly at least. Can you... Okay, I was holding a spear there. I didn't want to accidentally like kill the Jetfish by throwing the spear. So it's a bit slow there. I think it's still fine. The thing is that the length of the cycle is very random, and it also has a huge range, so that the chance that the cycle is so short that you can't even make it to subterranean at all, and you'll need to shelter in the shoreline. So the jellyfish are the most consistent place to get food to make sure that you can shelter wherever you need to. So if you're in shoreline and suddenly it starts raining, you can't just like make it to subterranean. You just need to shelter right then and there. But I just noticed earlier that this is a long enough cycle. Of course, when there's creatures involved, they might slow you down enough to prevent you from making it to a shelter, even if you would have had enough time otherwise. The one near industrial, the popcorn plant near industrial is not there as hunter. I'm pretty sure the one by the wall always is there. Maybe not though. Actually, well, I don't know. I think one of those jetfish was holding a bubble fruit that was covering its face. What are you doing? Why do they do it like that? By the way, subterranean is almost... No, it's definitely the most difficult part of the run. Scavengers can show up in several places, and they don't like you. They're not a fan of Hunter. There's kelp everywhere, there's centipedes, dropwigs, there's just everything that's awful. Sign lizards too. Merospirds. So many, like, really dangerous creatures in this region. And once you get into filtration, it doesn't get any better because there's small lizards all of a sudden. And spirit spiders too. Oops. Ah. That slide is like perfectly spaced to make you turn around right when you're about to enter the pipe somehow. Alright, I'm actually going to go through the depths this time. That's not where you're supposed to do a slide. There's 2 explosive spears right there, by the way. You didn't see them. Who knows why those are down there, down here? That actually doesn't make any sense at all, since those should only be made by the scavengers. Suggesting that the scavengers have gone down here. Oh, nice. And like made some like explosive spears and left them behind somehow. That was another explosive spear that I picked up. I didn't really want to use it to like wall pounce. I didn't know what was gonna happen. Alright, that was bad spacing. Let me see you guys. I still don't do this room correctly. Ah. Slides remain the most difficult thing. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, that was good. 44-22? How does that compare? That's about 4 minutes faster. feel like the movement for the most part was like pretty good, pretty clean. I have no idea how to like. Of course, this is not a good comparison to the actual like speedruns. This run has creatures disabled, so you know it's much easier. But also, you normally need to eat food as Hunter, obviously. So instead of just like eating food, I would always just like give myself food for the dev tools. But how long would that take really? Like 40 seconds across the whole run to like kill and eat a creature? Like if it's a pink lizard, just like stab it with a rock, or hit it with a rock, and then like a spear twice, and that's dead. And you can get food in like very quickly. But also I got lucky with like having a long cycle at the end, so I didn't need to shelter. Maybe I should start doing real runs. I guess this is telling that I don't need to practice the movement too much. It's probably the creatures I need to worry about the most. Maybe I could turn on creatures but still do practice runs by like spawning in like subterranean first, because that's definitely the worst for creatures. And just like get used to that part of the run. Or I could just do a normal run from the start. Yeah, sure. I don't know if I needed to change any remix settings. I don't think so, because I only changed the wall pounce. Why is it taking so long? I didn't change too much. I guess that other way to think of it is let's say that eating food takes a minute throughout the whole run. Because where do you need to normally eat food? The vulture in Chimney, right? Which you do for the mask anyway. That kind of took a while for me last attempts. That took it like way too long to kill the vulture, because they were like in a weird glitch state where I couldn't hit them with spears easily. And I also only had one spear to work with. But normally killing a vulture shouldn't take too long if you have 2 spears and it's in a good position. And that's all the food you need there. Then it's like a pink lizard when you're going from the wall to shaded, and then after shaded it's like kill anything you can find really. Although there's not really any good options. Maybe like a dropwig or a spider, but it's probably just jellyfish, or maybe a jetfish. You could kill a jetfish because there's a point where you're going from, like, you're going back from Moon, and you have to leave a jetfish behind. Maybe you could kill that one and eat it. That might be enough if you eat a few jellyfish too. I don't know. This is the kind of stuff I need to get used to from doing actual attempts. Should I record this? I guess I will. Hopefully that works. I changed some settings around since the last time I recorded some runs, so I don't even know if they will work properly. Oops, hopefully. But this is going to be like 20 times harder. I didn't even know what the deer were doing in that room. Just trying not to accidentally pick up a no-fly. Why did I turn around? Goodness. Yeah, 2 large centipedes you have to deal with in that room. Not great. I'll go for it. Oh gosh. There we go. Probably slower than the fastball climb at that point. Actually, I don't know. I know the comparison between wall pounces is like roughly even. I don't know about just fastball climb if you're not doing anything else. But that is probably slower because that's like a good few attempts. A timer up. The timer, what's that? Oh gosh, that was way too close. Just falling off. Really? Get out of the way. And then stuff like that happens where I wasn't in any danger at all, but that still lost me time. Okay, what is up with these guys, actually? Oh, I actually skipped that completely. Oh, come on. Okay. He was actually dangerous. Right before the shelter, too. I don't even know where I picked up the spear. Was it just, like, in that little like, hole in the wall, too? I was holding a rock. Please. Okay, not great movement. Pretty bad, actually. But I'm not gonna care about that stuff now. Centipedes are probably in the next room, which is really bad. That was all unnecessary, but we're making it. I don't think I have enough time to set it up. Yeah. Do you like Hunter? Do I? I don't have strong feelings about this run yet, but I might in the future. I've only done like 2 attempts total with creatures enabled. I think this category is really good in terms of movements, and I think Hunter is a strong character. But the creature spawns might be really bad. Actually, they are really bad. I'm pretty confident about that. But I don't have the like first-hand experience. I should have put the spear on my back and then picked up the rock. That would have been ideal. Actually, not really. It probably doesn't matter. I'm just gonna use the spear here anyway. This guy's here again. He really like found the one spot to hang out in that would get in my way. That's a scavenger. Okay. Just barely started. Wasted stamina. Ah, that's all bad. I guess I just didn't get enough height from the jump to initiate a roll. Also, the pearl shells appear because of a kind of weird glitch. If you leave a shelter behind in a gate while it's closing, under specific circumstances, maybe, the pearl gets duplicated and a duplicate of the pearl gets created in the next shelter you stay in, for some reason. I don't know if we completely understand how it works. Oh. You know, if it actually wasn't an explosive spear, that would have been better. Or if I didn't pick up the one explosive spear out of like 3 spears to hit the mech. I also maybe shouldn't have just ran straight towards them, but I wanted to go fast. Oh, they're not in a good spot. It's annoying when there's a bunch of random items in the tunnels. You can't easily just pick up the centipede. Like, you can't even tell if you picked up a rock on accident. Yeah, not very good movement here. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, yep. That's what I get. I don't know why I'm so bad at this. I rolled for longer. Okay, that was much better, but not by much, actually. Ah, yes, the wall. Oh. Yeah, okay. I don't really know what you're supposed to do there. Especially since you're holding 2 other items at that moment. I guess you could just, like, eat the neuron. The thing, this is another case of a speedrun where the difficulty kind of fluctuates a lot throughout the whole run. Where there's actually a big chunk in the middle that's much easier than the rest. And that's right after you enter Chimney. Because you can pick up a Vulture Mask and suddenly all the lizards are no longer a problem. You know. So once you get a Vulture Mask, up until, like, Shaded, it's pretty easy, actually. At least that's what it looks like. You know, vultures and scavengers are still going to be a problem. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Like, I probably shouldn't be doing this. I just don't want to make it, like, really dumb mistake at the very beginning. That's all. The problem is that once you get the Shaded, there's a lot of problems. I should have just entered from the other side. And Shaded, there's Scavengers and there's Spitter Spiders, which can be a problem. Probably doesn't look too bad other than the Leviathans. And then past that, it's Subterranean, so, you know, that's like the actual difficult part of the run. Okay. A lot of unnecessary things done there. We're moving. It's okay. What if it was up until you get to Chimney? Because you still have to get past Sky Islands. I didn't mention that. That's pretty bad. Sky Islands for Hunter. Let it be here? Yep. I'll try it once. Actually, no. He's already here. And I didn't jump off of the pole correctly. He didn't even enter the room. Okay. Well, this is the start. Yeah, the pearl like we spit out here, this is what eventually gets duplicated in the shelter. I'm not entirely sure it's a duplication. Like, I don't know if you could return to here and find the pearl still. Maybe. I haven't tested it at all. Goodbye, egg bug. Entering this area with 2 spears is real nice. I can do this. And I still have a spear. That's crazy. Where are you? They're on the other side. Okay. I should probably remember to check the cycle length more often because it's relevant in a few places, I think. I guess like after the shaded cycle, that's when you should check the length. This jump is so difficult for some reason. Why is jumping up there so difficult? I guess I should just slow down a little bit, huh? Those guys tend to be fighting each other. This might be a problem. Yeah. That's not ideal. Man, if the silence are just, well, actually if a lot of things happen there. If I had any items, that'd be nice. Maybe I should bring the firecracker with me. But then that's like a bunch of throw boosts that you can't do. Because you'll be holding on to that and the vulture grove. Because normally, if the slime lizards don't bother you, the orange lizards are very easy to deal with. They are kind of stupid. Okay. Hello, welcome to the stream. Abomination. No items at all. I guess I have a spear, right? Excuse me. Yeah, no throw boost at all in that room is kind of rough. Did I do something? Did I just jump on him and he got mad? Ooh. You know, these centipedes aren't horrible. They can be in the way and they're a bit scary, but sometimes they just kind of get out of your way. Or they just kind of don't catch up to you in time. That thing's still a spear. I should probably just practice that and figure out the timing. Because it's just kind of based on what feels right at the moment. I was not ready. Summon a vulture. Honestly, not a horrible idea. I don't know if the vulture would spawn in time, though, if I'm moving through the room too quickly. And I don't think I could spawn them from, like, underneath the platforms at the start of the room, right? Oops. I was scared of that guy. I might have been able to just run past him. There was a spear there, though. That's nice. Okay. Egg bug? Hey, dude. How's it going? I don't know how he sneaked in here. There we go. No item for an extended slide, but I guess it's kind of okay. Oh, no Eggberg anymore. They weren't real. Go, jump. Oh my gosh. I'll try it. It's better than you thought when starving. It's pretty bad. I have to be very careful. If I do like a few extra jumps than I need to, then I might just like pass out and lose like several seconds just sitting there. Yeah. I can't get past that room, man. Should I just keep going? Maybe I'll do a run where I just don't reset and actually like try to make progress. Maybe it just wasn't in range. You know, the effect was not as good as I thought it would be. It felt like... So I kind of felt like it'd be like if I threw the firecracker, all of the lizards would be scared me across the entire room. But that's not really how it worked. And there goes the slide. Oh my gosh. Should figure out a better way to do that. That isn't like jump on the top platform and then do a backflip and roll pants across. Oh my gosh. You know how all the practice runs were like really clean? And there's nothing that changed at all, and I'm making all these mistakes. Okay, I need to figure out this room too. Really, I should have a spear by now, an extra spear. There's another spear. That's roughly the process. I should probably figure out how many spears you need exactly to kill the vulture. So I'm not just like guessing. But I guess if you just spam grab, eventually you'll just pick up the vulture, right? Oh wow. Like I've seen way too many explosive spears today. Oh, come on. I can't even do anything about that. See, that's what I'm expecting to happen when I go through that room. It's so easy for them to just miss you. I'm throwing. I don't know why. I already spent all my skill on the practice runs. Actually, I think I can keep going with this. The karma. Actually, does the karma matter? Karma, as long as I have karma 4. Just stop throwing. Make it to pebbles. Remember when I said that getting the mask makes the run easy? Why? Why? Did I ever die here in practice? Did anyone see that? Like at all, actually just in general, did I die during practice for making movement mistakes? Now I just don't have enough karma. Well, alright. This isn't even a case of like creature RNG, this is just skill issue. Like 80% of the deaths are just me. you. See, it's stuff like that. What am I doing? You know, if I die like that again, I'm probably just gonna end the stream. Oh, nice jump. Because it probably just means that I'm not in the right state to do runs right now. Okay, that wasn't my fault. Yeah, that kind of thing's just gonna happen sometimes. It's kind of like Rivulet, actually. This, you know what? This is kind of like Rivulet. The beginning of the run is pretty rough, and then you kind of cruise for a while. Actually, no, that's not true. Rivulet is actually pretty consistently difficult across the entire run. Whether it be to creatures or... Oh, come on. Creatures or the environment. Can you grab us, anybody? Or just movement, you know. So you can die to the rots in Underhang, or you can just die by falling. I feel like those are... Well, if you just follow the route well, then neither of those are gonna happen. Just gone up and gotten that centipede now. Thank you. See, they like to do that. They purposely want to slow you down. I could bring... Okay, you can't, but... You know, the option is there. The spore pups are up there. You could just use those to get past the centipedes. Or you're holding 2 items here. Ah, yeah, this is pretty bad. See, when they're up there like that, it's not a huge problem. When they're here like that, it is a bigger problem. Man. Nice. You know what? That made up for it. Just remember, it's always, or getting lucky is always an option. I don't even have a spear right now. Yeah, that's just about the worst movement that you can do in this room. Plus Centipede. No. Don't do that. I made that mistake before. Should pick up that rock. Be able to throw boosts. Actually, you could also do that if you just like picked up another oh, there's a rock. No. If you had an extra item before you sheltered, you could just bring that with you. There's just not really many good places to get a rock before the shelter. Okay, here we are again. I guess that actually wouldn't hurt to just take that pearl with you for one room. If there's scavengers here, you can give it to them and have slightly higher rep. No, see, it doesn't do anything if you throw it down there. You know, yeah, I think that's it. Really? Alright. Well, there was at least one good practice run from this stream. Okay. That's something, isn't it? The actual attempts all sucked, but you know, maybe I'll make some progress eventually. Since I don't feel too bad about that. Like, the creatures are rough occasionally. Like, I guess the slime lizards in that room kind of pressure you a little bit to, like, keep moving. The centipedes in the beginning are kind of bad. But a lot of it was just movement stuff, like, just consistency, not even really... Like, just not messing up in, like, very easy places. So I guess I just need to be more careful in future runs. But I won't be playing Rain World for a while. The next stream that I have planned is not Rain World. And I want to like finish that completely before I do anything else. So maybe like another week or two before I do more attempts of this. But I think that's nice. Like taking a break can actually help you more than just doing more practice. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll speedrun Anima Well too. I don't know if I want to do that though. It sounds kind of difficult. But anyway, Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.